This circuit board will let you control 12 RC servos and 18 digital outputs wirelessly with a PlayStation 4 controller from up to 30 feet away. It's very simple to use and no programming is required. The servos are controlled by the X and Y axis of the joysticks, the triggers, virtual joysticks on the left and right halves of the touchpad, and the X and Y axis tilts. The digital outputs are controlled by the buttons and the triggers. This controller has just about all of the adjustment settings you would ever need already built in. By holding the PS and share button for 3 seconds, you can enter a configuration mode where you can cycle through the output channels to configure them. For example, you can trim the servo, change the direction of travel, adjust the sensitivity, set stops, and choose if you want the servo's position to be mapped directly to the stick's position, or if you want the servo to move incrementally instead. When you're done, hold the options button to save and exit. You can also lock the position of the servo, or save a position and then recall it later. For digital outputs, the output pin goes high when the button is pressed, but you can also have it toggle, output a single pulse, or blink. The frequency and pulse duration of the output pulses can be adjusted. You can also invert the signal to set the output in an active low configuration. The rumble motors and light bar can be controlled using an analog input pin. There's also a differential and mechanism wheel drive mixer for controlling mobile robots. This lets you control a differential drive robot with a single joystick instead of having to control each wheel with an individual joystick. Arduino headers can be installed in the Servoshock, and inputs and outputs can be controlled via the SPI bus to implement your own control scheme. In this example, I've programmed the Arduino to assume control of the outputs when I press the right joystick button. And if I press it again, the control of the outputs reverts back to the PS4 controller. The Servoshock is also compatible with the Thrustmaster T-Flight gaming joystick for the PS4 as well as several models of 3D mice. Since these devices don't have as many analog controls as the PS4 controller, some of the servos are mapped to buttons. For long-range servo control, the 12 servo signals can be sent to an FrSky XJT radio module, effectively turning the setup into a 12-channel RC transmitter. An adapter board for the radio module is available. So what can you build with the Servoshock? Well, there was that time that I built a robot with a water gun on it and I chased my dog around with it. And I can't wait to see what you will build.